Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever found yourself just staring at a stubborn polynomial that straight up refuses to cooperate, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to forge a mathematical master key, one that guarantees a solution to any quadratic equation every single time.
To kind of set the stage here, the source material actually anchors its whole philosophy in Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. It brings up this really fascinating idea that math tools, they're like God-given keys, literally designed to unlock understanding. When we hit a tricky problem, we don't need to panic. We just need the right key to unlock the wisdom and knowledge waiting on the other side. And honestly, that is exactly what the quadratic formula represents.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the unsolvable math puzzle. Then, forging the universal key. Next, the anatomy of the key. After that, turning the key. And finally, wisdom, morality, and peace. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the unsolvable math puzzle. Think about the algebraic equations you've tackled so far. Some of them are super cooperative, right? They just unfold beautifully through simple factoring or straightforward square roots. But then, you have the stubborn ones. No matter how you try to group the terms, they absolutely refuse to crack. And as you advance into higher-level math or physics and science, you're going to encounter these stubborn problems constantly. So you need a reliable method that guarantees a solution, assuming one actually exists, every single time. It's a huge confidence booster to know that literally no quadratic is too hard for you to solve.
Moving on to Section 2, forging the universal key. Now, this formula isn't just some magic trick dropped from the sky. We actually have to forge it, kind of like master blacksmiths, using a method called completing the square. So, step 1, we clear the anvil by moving our constant over to the other side and dividing everything by the leading coefficient a. Next, we take the square of half our x coefficient and add that to both sides. That's what completes the square. Then, we combine the right side under a common denominator of 4a squared. Now we strike the hammer. Take the square root of both sides. Oh, and never ever forget your plus or minus sign there. Finally, isolate x, and boom! You've just built the ultimate mathematical master key. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a.
Section 3, the anatomy of the key. So right inside the quadratic formula, specifically underneath that square root symbol, is a really special combination of variables, b squared minus 4ac. This little piece is so crucial, it actually gets its own name, the discriminant. I want you to think of the discriminant as a sort of diagnostic indicator. Even before we finish calculating the whole problem, this one small piece tells us exactly how many solutions we're going to get. It's literally like peeking into the lock before you even turn the key.
And this discriminant categorizes our equations instantly. So if that value under the square root is positive, you get two real solutions, because you're adding and subtracting a real number. If the value is exactly 0, well, the plus or minus just vanishes, leaving you with exactly one solution. But what if it's negative? In that case, the lock simply won't turn in the realm of real numbers. Now, you'll learn how to handle those with complex numbers later on, but for now, it's just a brilliant shortcut to know exactly what to expect.
Which brings us to Section 4, turning the key.
All right, let's put the key in the ignition. Take x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Our coefficients, a, b, and c, are 1, negative 5, and 6. Plug those in, and hey, let's check that discriminant first. Negative 5 squared is 25, minus 4 times 1 times 6, which is 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. It's positive. That means the lock's going to turn twice. The math simplifies beautifully to 5 plus or minus 1, all divided by 2. 5 plus 1 is 6, over 2 is 3. 5 minus 1 is 4, over 2 is 2. And just like that, the lock clicks open, x equals 3, or x equals 2.
Now, check out this one. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. If we check our discriminant here, we get negative 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times 1 times 4, which is also 16. 16 minus 16 gives us a discriminant of exactly 0. Remember our rule? That whole square root section just completely vanishes. We're left with 4 over 2, giving us a single solution of x equals 2. Mathematicians call this a double root.
Okay, for our third scenario, x squared plus x plus 5 equals 0. Let's diagnose it with the discriminant first. We take 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4 times 1 times 5, which is 20. 1 minus 20 gives us negative 19. So the discriminant is negative, and because we're only dealing with real numbers right now, we immediately know there's no real solution. See? The quadratic formula just saved us a ton of time by diagnosing an impossible lock right off the bat.
Now, to truly master this tool, you've got to turn the key yourself. So try these 5 practice problems. Make sure to identify your coefficients accurately, check your discriminant first to take that little peek inside the lock, and follow your order of operations meticulously. Practicing these is absolutely crucial for building unshakable confidence for the next stubborn equation you run into.
Section 5. Wisdom, Morality, and Peace.
So, stepping back from the math for a second, the fundamental philosophy presented by the source material intertwines biblical morality directly with education. The idea here is quite profound. They argue that education without morality will ultimately hurt. I mean, think about it. What's the point of being super smart, of knowing how to solve the most complex math problems, if we just continue to make bad choices that hurt ourselves or the people around us? Academic tools, like the quadratic formula, make us intellectually sharp, but the source emphasizes they must be paired with moral tools to ensure our choices are actually wise.
This whole philosophy is anchored in teachings like Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7, which promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. Just as the quadratic formula brings structure and guaranteed solutions to really chaotic polynomial equations, keeping a spiritual mindset is viewed by the source as the reliable formula for bringing peace to an otherwise chaotic life. It's really about engaging with knowledge holistically.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Through step-by-step logic, you now possess the universal key to unlock any quadratic equation. But as you navigate the crazy complexities of life, will you use the key of biblical morality to unlock genuine peace of mind? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me. Keep practicing, keep seeking wisdom, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.